Red summer. Scorpion. Red summers. Punch me in, White. The president still acting unpresidential. Bitch, I'm in the Bronx with the evil in my residential. It was all emojis, it was never mental. The silver spoon is under fire, pressure vented. The times that we live in are unprecedented. We went from doing a Dougie, fresh invented. Now the rhymes, they all pessimistic. They had it jagged, but they were all magic. Just finesse the mystics. They impressed with quick chicks. Only savages, we less sadistic. They being less specific. No metaphysics, so many butter biscuit. They need extra biscuit. We had the blessed district. Fresh to death, we were stressed and drip. They worship lesser gods with the lesser mystics. Copy suckers, all they breathless fish sticks. They think the Kashi, yeah, they won't protect the witness. They think the Kashi, yeah, they won't protect the witness. Hannibal Parker shit. In the heart of it, yeah, started shit. That Marty Martyr with Sean Carter started kid. Started shit. Crimes of the passionate ones. You found love for blasting their guns. My chain froze, hanging off a wing rope. The range roll on strange rolls. The strange most strange toes. Like the frame rearranged codes. 360 spinning clearly like a plane roll. 365 winning really like a game host. 444 degrees on a range stone. On the coast, on the main goal. These niggas wanna know how power is obtained. If you act the shower posse, they'll tell you that it's ours. Rain. None of these cowards, they remain. This is a range. Carriages remain. Drawn by 400 horses. There was power in the range. 19 blocks cutters overpowering the planes. They left all them towers up in flames. I never look at 24 hours just the same. Bitch, I'm just power chase with black power. You a mixture of that crack powder and Mr. Matt Lauer. Hashtag Mr. Me Too. You met Red Pillar. I suggest that you niggas meet.
Land of the brave, in a home of the giants. She was COVID compliant, she was COVID defiant. Y'all was potent, reliant, we exposing these tyrants. Composed to the science, we not posing, no trying. Controlling the climates, yeah, we mold these environments. Scientists with client list, minus us with iron fist. Holding arms, only way to catch these gems. Texas with an open palm, equestrians on open farm. Putting on that poking wall, rolling palms, coat of arms, don't let me in. Kick the doors, waving 44s, they won't let me in. Nah, shit, we talking like the thespian, dancing like pedestrians. It's my requiem, take you out front and center like ESPN. In the middle of the action, spitting with the passion. You get riddled if you passion. Shit, no dribble, we just passing off the scribble, we just cashing. Expand the vote, play above the rim, burn a goat, man a goat. I turn from man to hoe, can a hoe, let the hammers go. Put your banner like not even Amber Road to stop me from slut shaming all these bitch niggas. Yeah, demands a hoe, the only antidote to split his cantaloupe. We be bloody like an antelope with Serengeti. Get ready, shit, no introductions necessary. We legendary, the story still unfolds. Yeah, they taking up like secretaries. Yeah, the heart is like a message heavy. It's out their life, but what we represent me. Statistics in the forest, scientific when it's Morris. All the shit I spit a story. Like every day is February. Shit, you like it, I adore it. Shit, I write it, then record it. Recite it, then perform it. Excitement, I'm on for it. Fighting, shit, Walrus.
There you have it. That's that China Flow off of the Red Summer album. Make sure y'all go and get that Red Summer album. Please, please make sure y'all go and get that Red Summer merch right there as a website. But go and, if you want to listen to it before you buy it, go and stream it. You know what I'm talking about? Shout out to all of the people that are making those streaming numbers go up, because them streaming numbers is definitely rising up. I appreciate everybody that's been catching the streaming the Red Summer album. I'm making a few songs rise to the top. Laylo, Valkyries, Good Wife. Peace and love to the family. Peace and love to the family. We are doing a late broadcast, but we're doing one nonetheless. This broadcast is dedicated to the wolf moon. Shout out to all of my wolves that are out there. This is a powerful, powerful spiritual moon. And we're just going to talk about a few things. And then I'll let the family do what they got to do. All right, let's do a roll call. Let's see who's in the building for the evening before we even go in. All right. All right, we got South Carolina in the building. All right, we got Brooklyn in the building. ATL in the building. Detroit in the building. Kansas in the building. Seattle in the building. DMV is in the building. The D is in the building. Austin, Texas is in the building. Rockland County is in the building. Spring Valley, I see you. Cincinnati's in the building. Philly's in the building. Michigan in the building. Brooklyn, Brockton in the building. Charleston in the building. Brick City in the building. Louisiana's in the building. St. Louis in the building. Brick City's in the building. Harlem is in the building. Vegas in the building. The Sty is in the building. I see you. I see you. That's right. Columbus is in the building. Shout out to Columbus. Cincy is in the building. Inland Empire. Crown Heights in the building. Salute to BK in the building. Seattle in the building. East Oakland in the building. Philly in the building. Tallahassee in the building. The Mo is in the building. Lexington, North Carolina is in the building. Birmingham, Alabama. What's happening? Massachusetts, Cleveland, Dallas. West Phoenix. I see you. I see you. Now, everywhere that I just shouted out, all of the different cities that I just called out, from everybody that's in the building that lives in those cities, if you were to look outside of your window, right, at this time, like wherever you are around the world, if you look outside of your window, you'll be able to see this moon that we're going to be talking about tonight, the wolf moon. It's very bright. It's very full, you know, and it's you know, it's very big, right? So make sure you tap into that. You know what I'm talking about? Make sure you know, when you're doing your whatever kind of meditation you may do, whatever type of, whatever your practice is, when you tap in or you zone out and whatnot, just know that that moon outside of your window is a portal. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, charge your crystals. Good time to charge your crystals. A good time to deal with your affirmations. A good time to, you know, create. A good time to tap into your creativeness and, you know, just your overall idea or your imagination. You know what I'm talking about? Your I is so many ways to say it, but it's your I magi, right? I, like third eye, or the I, magi as in magic, nation, right? It's an endless, it's the world of dreams, it's the world of ideas, it's the world of concepts, it's the world of, you know, where all things are created from, because that's where things come from. So tap into your I imagination, and based off of who I is or who you are, based off of, you know, just the way that the way of your alignment or the way of your charts, you're going to be able to tap into whatever you tap into. Henceforth, why so many things have been tapped into and created in this physical plane. But a lot of the creators of those things said that they were divinely what? Inspired. And they all tapped into what? Something that was higher than them. They were divinely inspired from, you know, an idea from above, or, you know, God spoke to me. You know, I received you know, an Amazon delivery from the Most High. However people word it, it's still being tapped in, you know. it's still being it's being still, you know, it's still being on your path, on your journey, whatever your hero's journey is, whatever your the road of your perdition. It doesn't matter because everybody goes through their own, you know, hero's journey. Everybody's going through their own cycle. Everybody goes through their own, you know, their own movements. So, and then the interesting, you know, parallels that I could easily make, that it doesn't even take a decoder or anybody of decoding decor to point out, is that during a wolf moon that celebrates the wolves that gather in packs, right? During this moon, right? The wolf pack, right? The correlation that you make to the wolf pack and the wolf moon is easily seen with the story that we've been seeing over the few days, where Wall Street, the wolves of Wall Street, right? The wolves of Wall Street are somewhat afraid or in fear of a new group of wolves, right? Who have decided to do what? Come together to eat. Hold on a minute. Yeah. Nah, I'm good. Yeah, pardon me. Where were we? Catch me up to where we were at. Oh, yes, the wolf packs. The quote unquote stock market is being manipulated by a group of traders and people on a Reddit forum, right? And once defunct businesses like GameStop and a whole bunch of other stocks that were laying dormant, like Kodak, you know, Kodak, I got stuck with those stocks. You know what I'm talking about? And they start pumping. And they were doing pump and dumps, right? Now it's gotten as far as to where Robinhood was basically they have a lawsuit, a group lawsuit against them because the wolves are out here. The Reddit and Discord pages, the wolves, the new wolves of Wall Street are coming to eat, right? And they learned they did what? They broke the code, right? They smoked the toad. No, that's a bar that I just, you know, they hacked the matrix, you know. So there's some hacking of the matrix taking place right now by wolves in a digital space, and we're underneath what is known as the wolf moon, you know, and that is of no coincidence, you know. Nobody planned it like that. Let's read into the wolf moon real quick. I'm gonna go ahead and show y'all. Let me share this page. Okay. The wolf moon, the first of 12 full moons in 2020, rises Thursday night. Here's the history behind its name. Sky watchers got a real treat Thursday night as the wolf moon filled the night sky. Through a virtual telescope. The name is attributed to Native Americans noticing that wolves would howl during the winter months when food was scarce, according to the Old Farmer's Almanac. But that interpretation is more likely incorrect. Gordon Johnston, a retired NASA program manager, wrote in a blog, "From what I've learned about traditional names given to full moon prior to the introduction of modern timekeeping, Local leaders would usually decide on the name of the moon based on conditions at the time. He wrote, full moon names were used to describe, to remember what happened in. According to Indian country today, the close name to wolf moon is actually the Sioux name. The wolves run together. The wolves run together moon. Other names for the moon include the Algonquins label Squeechy Quesos, or the sun has not strength to thaw, the Hopis moniker Moon of Light at its height, and the Muskogees name Winter's younger brother, per the Western Washington University Planetarium website, which has a full list moon names for 29 tribes. So, so yeah, this is a moon. Definitely tap in, especially as the first moon of 2020, and you getting an idea of what this whole year is going to be about. You know what I'm talking about? Knowing what you need to prepare to make sure that you're good for at least until the end of the fourth quarter. This is that type of moon to get it started. You know, and like I was teaching in the stream chasers, if there's any of my stream chasers in tonight's audience, let me get a fire emoji. You know what I'm talking about? I'm gonna have to get the stream chasers emoji get put into the matrix. But I was speaking about that when I had my workshop the other last week, and I was just basically saying that this is the matrix. This the internet, or whatever you want to call it. It's the matrix. So numbers. This is a number. Is the algorithms respond to numbers? The algorithms, they shift to certain type of numbers. They obey. They're programmed to to tap into certain type of numbers. So the way to hack this matrix, right? And when I say hack because I'm not talking about hacking as a hacker does. I'm speaking about hacking like hacking a problem, like being able to solve an equation, right? If you can have a life hack, or if you can hack your way through a problem, or if you can hack your way through to a solution, you're doing a hack, right? So there's a misconception on the lexicon. When you hear the word hack, it's attributed to something negative. That's why people are somewhat low key. It's they low key make you not want to tap into it. They make you low key not want to look into it. They make it almost seem like it's something that's underground, when everybody in Silicon Valley are theoretically they're hackers. You know, if you read all of their white papers and their mission statements, they're about solving problems. You know what I mean? A lot of them are under the guise of doing social good and things of that nature. They're social entrepreneurs. Um, they're socially conscious. They're part of the woke economy or the woke capitalism, and they speak about wanting to do good for Black lives. You know, or these NGOs and all of these different companies that are like in people's neighborhoods, or in wherever we're at. But they really just there getting their checks. A lot of that is government contracts. They get paid to be there. You don't get paid for anything. you know so yeah, we're seeing with the numbers, this situation I'm speaking about. Let's go and check it out. We'll go to my Instagram. Let me go and share this. Hold on. Yeah, so trading was getting so real that Robinhood stopped it. You know, yeah, it's a lot of Hegelian going on. You know what I'm talking about? There's a lot of Hegelian. You know, I just see a lot of games being played with the whole Joe Biden thing. You know, everybody that they got working with them, the whole way that big pharma's maneuvering themselves, the whole way that they're maneuvering themselves, just all around with the reset. It's just, you know, it's very you gotta, you know what I'm talking about. You got to keep your eyes open. But as you can see, if you get the right information at the right time, you can make the right things happen. You know, yeah, basically it's all gambling. And especially with it being online, this is a rich man's gamble. This is how rich people gamble their bread and whatnot, you know. And the people are noticing that the people are hacking the code and they're winning and they're eating and they're, you got to understand there's already a divide taking place with these big wigs and whatnot. There's already a money divide that has taken place as a result of the COVID. They know that they already got the people who used to have jobs fucked up in the game because they stopped all of the jobs, right? Then the people who have, you know, that are unemployed, they know where they got them because they got them on a weekly or a monthly check, right? So really, the people who they kind of targeting now are the people that are having cryptocurrency, you know, uh, success in cryptocurrency, people that are dealing with stocks on the stock market, the trading and things of that nature, day traders and things of that nature, and a lot of people in those fields. Because if you don't think that what's going on right now with this whole pump and dump thing with GameStop, with these nerds, you know what I mean, who are in these Reddit rooms, you know, because remember what Reddit is, you know, you got to think what Reddit is, and they're pumping and dumping these stocks, and it's making the news, and it's going all the way to Capitol Hill with with Elizabeth Warren, and this shit is making headlines every time that it happens. It makes front news and like Yahoo Finances and whatnot. You know, I'm also looking at the Hegelian aspect of it, with Robin Hood being able to stop it. Now they're going to put in some type of new regulations that is going to prevent other companies or other businesses from being able to engage in certain type of things. They're going to begin to regulate, because the whole thing that they're saying in these conversations, the word they're throwing out there is regulation, right? And when you say regulation, you're talking about putting more rules in place, right? When you talk about regulation, you're talking about including government more into everybody's online business into everybody's financial transactions and shit like that. That's what more. That's when they swing that regulation talk. That's something that I hear. What they're afraid of in all of these things in this new administration is all things deregulation. If you pay attention to what they're going to be going after, it's all things deregulation. That's something that scares them, because deregulation means that they don't have a hand, or they don't have their way to control or to oversee or to tax. You know what I'm saying? Or to impose their restrictions and all kind of things into what you're doing. So, the word of the day, I feel, should be, it's going to be a few words, but deregulation, uh, decentralizations. There's a lot of what they call deplatforming taking place, where they're taking people's platforms are being snatched. People are being censored, channels are being erased. There's a bunch of shit taking place. And to be honest with you, it been taking place. But the good thing about it is there's a whole bunch of new worlds that exist outside of big old YouTube. You know what I mean? And if you're a content creator and you're restricted to the confines of this fucking rectangular box on this website channel, when there's hundreds, and your fucking Twitter fingers, you could just easily dial up anything else. There's nothing holding you to just YouTube. But like I said, there's a lot of other platforms that are out there where communities are, creating more content, uh, content that has, less censored material, and a whole bunch of other shit. And it's being monetized. So you don't get the peanuts. You don't get the 0.0000001 cent that they're out here crunching when they're having all of these videos playing and whatnot. And they're playing 18 commercials through your build and whatnot, and they're getting a check for that, but they send people peanuts. So now there's different things through the blockchain. There's different websites where you can monetize your footage. You can monetize a lot of things. It's not going to be something where you're depending on the YouTube business model. Because I promise you, that shit is over. Post-COVID, all kind of shit has changed. It's a different world. You know what I'm talking about? It's a different world. So we don't want to be with the old information. We don't want to look at things through an older lens. You know what I'm saying? We want to be right on time. We want to be presently present. That's the key, especially considering this shit is in what is known as the quickening. So every other day is something else happening. Every other day is something else happening. So the key, ultimately, the ultimate key is to restrain from being distracted. Like, that goes without saying. And that sounds wild easy. You know what I mean? Because only a few people can adhere to something as profound as a statement such as that. Because believe me, it sounds easy, but that shit is profound. Yo, don't be distracted. Just stay focused. How? And stay focused exactly on what? So those questions are still not defined. It can't be like, yo, stay focused until your next video, son. Stay focused until YouTube, takes us somewhere, son. Until they decide to do something with us, kid. Stay focused until we build a village. And I'm just saying, I'm not saying that to anybody in particular. I'm talking about? But collectively, with all of the conferences that have taken place in Black America, not to just say in this community, in Black America as a whole, nobody had a directive where they were like, yo, we're going to collectively vote on this. We're going to collectively, agree to something. We're going to collectively make one goal. We're going to collectively, put a 10-year object, a 10-year plan together, and we all agree to it. We're going to collectively, put our money into one project. We're going to fund it all together. We're going to be the angel investors. We're going to be the venture capitalists. You feel me? We're going to be the lean investors. We're going to be the shadow investors. We're going to have some equity in this company. We're going to have a vested interest in this company. These conversations will be considered advanced conversations in our community. These conversations will be considered, very rare because people are not. That's not the conversation that people are having. So the enormous social value, the enormous value that this whole community possesses, just as an entity, as a business. If you want to make it that, you know, the shit is endless. You know, you can't put a value to it. You know what I'm talking about? You can't put a value to it. There's so many geniuses. There's so many brothers and sisters out here who have something to offer, who are priceless. The shit that they have to offer, you can't put a price tag on it. The creatives that we have amongst us. You know what I'm talking about? The healers that we have amongst us, the shamans that we have amongst us, the warriors that we have amongst us, the scholars that we have amongst us, the wizards, you know what I mean? The babalaos. Like it's a nation. It's so many of us. So my $1 million question would be to anybody, okay, well shit. I see how other groups utilize their numbers to push the needle in the financial market, and in other places like on the world stage, not to say that anybody should follow this example or this is something that's admirable, but storming the Capitol, which is theoretically storming the castle, which is theoretically what they do when they rush the kingdoms. You see this in all of the pirate and medieval movies when they were depicting running up in the Moorish castles and sacking the castles or sacking the city when they breached the wall, hold the door, like they were showing in Game of Thrones. That same scene that you see at the Capitol, you probably said, I've seen this before. You did. That was in Game of Thrones when the White Walkers breached the wall, that wall of ice and whatnot. And they were coming and breaking through and shit, you know. And then the White Walkers in Washington, D.C. at the state capitol, running up in there, resurrecting the old bones of the Dixie Democrats. With the QAnon shaman doing a spell, right, in the office and whatnot, and setting the stage for where the fuck, this whole program is at this point in time, in these days. Because if you don't think that that was a ritual, and if you don't think that that was something that was well planned and well prepared and well put together by a bipartisan, party effort, I don't know what to tell you, you know. But if you watch the video, I showed it on one of these broadcasts. They were in Capitol Hill, right? It's about what they said too, because people would be like, "Oh, Red, that shit was all orchestrated." I'm telling you, my master guru said, and this and this and that, and I'm saying, look, yes, orchestrated, yes, put together, yes, propaganda. Yeah, hell yeah, all that, and then some. You know what I'm talking about? Crisis actor. And the fact that it was orchestrated, okay, that makes you begin to pay attention to whatever media that was selected to be released to the world, and what's the message that the media has. Because you could speculate all day, but it's about the media that they put out that defines the narrative. It says what it says to the rest of the world, regardless of what had happened that day. It's the way that they framed it. It's the way that they put it out to the world. This is what they put out to the world. There's a rising, and this wasn't 77 white people, 77 million of them. It was a handful of them, right? And they were like, yo, they represent 70 something million white Americans who are on Donald Trump's, they voted him in, and they're ready to go to war, and this is going to tear America, and this is, they framed that shit in all kind of ways. Never once did you hear the word treason. Never once did you hear anybody say, "Oh, nah, them niggas gotta that's what they did is they gotta take every single one of them and line them up. That's a breach or whatever." You didn't hear none of that. Nobody deputized. You never see no black people say, "Yo, where they at? Where them people from Capitol Hill? I want to go and arrest them. I want to make a citizen's arrest. I want to help the SWAT. I want to help the SWAT teams." Black America didn't even demand that something happens to every single one of those people that was in that building, even though that's none of y'all business, right? Even though it's not. But their own people didn't do it. So why would you, right? Their own people really low key didn't say, let's round every single one of those people up. Their own people didn't say, you know what, we're going to have an emergency hunt for enemies of the state inside the borders of America, which is a cancer. They're not even allowed to get off the planes because if they were to leave Capitol Hill after doing what they did, it don't matter if they get locked up. They get locked up, they getting tattoos on the yard. They're legends. What are you talking about? They're in the pokey. Niggas is anti-establishment in the pokey. Ain't nobody gonna be mad at them. And then they raise up with the army of fucking white Nazis that they got in the pokey. So the fact that they let them people leave that building, it was over after that. Them niggas are legends wherever they live. Okay? And nobody went home with an L. If one person died out of that whole melee, nigga, consider that a touchdown. Ask Tom Brady, nigga. That's a touchdown. Fuck is you talking about? If one woman died and another nigga had a heart attack, he was a sacrifice. He didn't have a heart attack. He got taken over by Beelzebub. And she got shot in her mouth. She's the motherfucking martyr. They're going to put her face on a flag. And the fact that she was ratchet and whatnot, they're going to summon her demon. Fuck is you talking about? They're going to feed her egregor. They're going to ride in her name, nigga. She probably got mad videos out. They'll make her a martyr. They'll put her on a flag, on a digital flag. And they'll ride in her name. So the fact that they lost a few people, but they breached the Capitol. They ran up in the castle. They was making phone calls. They was taking collect calls from the homies. They was in like Pelican Bay. You know what I'm saying? The white Aryans, wherever they were at. And they made a mockery of the military, of the justice system. They made a mockery of the government. They made a mockery of entertainment industry. They made a mockery of, because they made a mockery of the military, right? Because if melanated people, and I don't like to compare the two because that's when you start playing into that matrix they put up, they set up. But the way that it's set up, they knew that those people was coming to Capitol Hill because it was all over Fox. It was all on Bill Riley. It was all on Breitbart. It was all on the surface sites, right? That everybody who can surf will surf through, and you'll see all of that shit. Like, oh, they building up to that date. You know what I mean? And we know based on how they was pulling up, in certain state capitals because of the anti-mask, they was coming with their hammers and whatnot. They've been running up. They were trying to kidnap governors and whatnot prior to that. So they've been showing signs of not just what you would call it, violence. They've been showing signs of homeland terrorism in the face of everything. So the fact that they didn't have military there, the fact that they didn't have anybody on call, the fact that they were like, who? What are you talking about? The fact that they turned a cheek like MLK, nigga. What you talking about? Them niggas, they put their weapons down. That's how it was a fucking dry run, nigga. It was a drill. I promise you. This shit happened before. Like when the National Guard came in and started slaughtering niggas, or vice versa. When shit was going down, they play games like that. Don't ever fall for that okie doke. Oh, we're going to send the army in. They come in and they start mowing shit down. You know? So it's a lineup. It's a lineup. It's a lineup. They were not serious about getting those people who came up in the Capitol and did what they did into any type of jail. They're not serious about that. And that right there shows that they breached the justice system, right? In a day and time where people, just a few months ago, it was like, how dare, you put your knee on this man's neck because of a counterfeit $20 bill. And now in the Capitol, dudes is backing down the popo. You know what I'm talking about? And they breaching things, and they got senators on the run. They got the top law officials hiding for their lives. And nobody said, yo, Code Red, we gotta lock them and their homies up. Where's their big homies? Who sent them here? You know what I'm saying? Who know these niggas? What they never tell you what their browser history is. They never tell you who their friends, who's their top friends. They don't give you no data on none of these people. Keep that in mind. They're not saying, yo, we gotta round up the root of this issue. We gotta go to their you know what I mean? We're gonna put a RICO out to find who the big homie is. None of that ever happens. They don't give you the browser history. They just talk about, oh, these were nice children. We don't know what happened to them. They were listening to rap music and they got into this. So if it were anything else than that, it would have been met with military resistance. It would have been met with the newest of technology that's available, sound wave frequencies, drone surveillance. You know what I'm talking about? Predator drones. It would have been met with them little fucking dogs from Black Mirror, nigga. You know what I'm talking about? It would have been met with the whole Boston Dynamic rollout, nigga. The fuck are you saying? Nah, I ain't buying that. You know? And then they upstood the media because that was one of the finest shows, one of the that was all theater right there. And that was bad theater, but it was all theater. It was all theater. They said they were in an information war. They called it the IO war. That's what the people who were in the Capitol Hill thing. That's what they said. We're in an IO war, an information war. This is an information war, right? This is about the hearts and the minds of the people. This is about the quote unquote censorship of information, the dissemination of information, and also the quote unquote targeting of information, making information what would be considered contraband. You know, contraband, getting a fucking conspiracy charge if you engage in conspiracy theory. You feel me? So they're definitely out here playing a lot of mind games. They're definitely out here taking a lot of people off of their, there's a lot of distraction, which is, warranted. It's gonna be distraction. What the fuck? What do you think this shit is on? What is it's on turn down? No, it's on turn up. You know what I'm talking about? Dug it in my Reeboks. This shit is on turn up. You know, it's 21 Savage. So I expect no less of a year that promises to be, a dynamic year, another wonderful year, one of the greatest years that you've ever existed, you know, and shit like that. Because keep in mind, 2022 is the pop off. 2022 is the pop off. Somebody pay bond to release the. Oh yeah, a lot of businesses help pay the bond for Riddle House. You know, he's a legend, right? Look at him. He was 17 years old. He put in that twerk, right? He's home on bail, right? That nigga's getting 40 a walkthrough. He's walking through trailer parks. He's walking through militia get-togethers. You know what I'm talking about? He's popping in that whole circle. He's a legend. So, if he got to do one for the gang and lay up, that's just something that he'll have to do. But people understand what it takes to be what they say they're about. And, there's, like I said, this whole reality is being manipulated by people who are oath takers, They're just a little more serious about this shit than everyday people are. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, Ricky Schroeder, nigga. How about that? How about that for irony, right? How about that for irony? There you have it right there. That's the poetic justice. Ricky Schroeder paid Kyle Rittenhouse's bail. You niggas remember Ricky Schroeder, nigga? Where my 80s babies at? Especially niggas from the 70s. We all know who Ricky Schroeder is. You know what I'm talking about? We all know who Ricky Schroeder is. So for those of us who grew up watching this white boy, who was mad successful, was rich, he had it all. Mr. Silver fucking Spoon himself, right? The archetype, right? The archetype. This is all about archetypes. That's all we remember. We only remember archetypes. We don't remember your real name. Only those of us who really are, into this shit remember the name. So a lot of people probably forgot Ricky Schroeder. They just remember Silver Spoons, nigga, but that's a name you don't forget, nigga. So Silver Spoons, Mr. Silver Spoons, this little nigga, right, is out here like, yo, free the homie. You know what I'm talking about? This nigga here is out here freeing Kyle Rittenhouse. Richie fucking Rich. Yeah, and Carlton was his homie too. Yo, Carlton, come front and center. Yeah, then they used to have Carlton breakdancing on that shit. Silver Spoons was my shit too. All facts. I'm not gonna lie. I won't hold you niggas. Ricky Schroeder was that guy. You feel me? Ricky Schroeder was him. So to see that he's on his shit like that, I'm like, oh, you a op, bro. You a op. You a op. You're opportunity. Fuck out of here. I didn't know that's how you felt about us. You know what I'm saying? I ain't know that's how you felt about us, Ricky fucking Schroeder, nigga. And that just goes to show you, right? These are people that, you know, they sell us these people, and you know, they sell us these people as entertainers and, you know, all of that shit. And we fall for it. Stars, fake stars and whatnot, manufacture stars. Just because somebody's on a TV screen, that means that whatever they say is what it is. And that's not what this is. You know what I mean? And a nigga, you know, and we think because somebody was in Hollywood or they were on TV or something, or because these niggas are comedians or something, that they're automatically supposed to be people who fucking just love, you know, them that love black people so much. You know what I mean? They're so fucking down with black people that they're not into they're not into their own nationalism, right? They're not into their own nation shit. Like they're not into their own type of, you know, national pride, right? That's called white pride and white nationalism, right? And that's expected of them because this nigga looks like a fucking prototype of, you know, he's blonde haired, blue eyed. They're Richie Rich. So for him to be loyal to the soil for his nation, it wouldn't really shock me. I'm like, okay, I mean, it's not a fucking crime. You know, you are a fucking Aryan. You know, you are an Aryan. That's what you're supposed to be doing. Theoretically speaking, I mean, I would be a fault if I was to say, "Oh, he's wrong for bailing Kyle Rittenhouse out." No, to be actually to keep it a buck with you, theoretically speaking, you know, if he's on his, I'm on, he's identifying as a fucking a European, you know what I mean, or a white boy, or a Peckerwood, he theoretically would have to ride for his people. And Kyle Rittenhouse is a political statement. It's not a fucking 17-year-old boy, my nigga. He's a political statement. You know, he's a whole political statement. So hope y'all got your ancestor money tonight, man. You're gonna burn some of this shit up. It's that China flow. It's that China flow. I'm talking about Eric B and Rakim. Know the ledge, nigga. Know the ledge. Only real Brooklyn, only real hip hop heads know the importance of those two men right there to the game. You know what I'm talking about? Only real ones know what they meant to the game, but those are definitely the fathers of a lot of styles. Eric B and Rakim, they definitely brought New York, they brought hip hop to a whole nother standard. Straight up. Lyrics, bars, style, you know what I mean? Aesthetics, sound, swag. Niggas didn't have Rakim's fucking swag. They didn't have that demeanor. Like, look at this shit right here, B. Niggas was on a Black God shit, B. This was this had the streets on another wave. This had the streets on a whole nother wave, yo. Eric B and Rakim. And then Big Daddy Kane played a big part too. But Eric B and Rakim, they had urban lore. Like they had you know, they was in the streets, they was outside. So there was a lot of urban myths surrounding their name. Yeah. Dookie Chains. Somebody said he was really young, wasn't he? Let me explain something to you. And when you hear this, I want you to put into concept. I want you to put into context the music industry and what you're seeing in these days and age, right? So for artists like Soldier Boy, who was like 17 or 16, and then Bow Wow's generation, and then now all the way fast forward, you have a lot of the artists that are coming out, Odd Future, ASAP, a lot of, these teenager rappers, a lot of them start out like 17. You know what I'm talking about? A lot of them were like 17. XXX he was kind of lit at 17, 17 and 18 and whatnot. He died at 20. So Rakim and Kane and them, they was like 17 when they were putting out, when they were putting out some of these records. Like these were man children, or what they called man childs. These were these men, were advanced for their age based off of what they were going through in New York City or Gotham City at that time, right? They were going through, they just came up different. Everybody's body is different, you know. Some of them had, LL was 16, Shantae was 15, Special Ed. Yo, I heard Special Ed got knowledge. He got some knowledge himself. I might do a show with him or a live and then put it on Know the Ledge. You know, check out my melody. Dun, dun, dun. Come on. Take 7 MCs, put them in a line, then add 7 more suckers who think they can rhyme. I take 7 more before I go for mine. That's 7. What? He was doing it, bro. He was doing it. And he didn't put, he's not known for putting explicitives or curses in his rhymes. Like he doesn't write that into his raps. FYI. Right? FYI. Special Ed was lit when we was young. I got it made. Bars, for that day and time. And when our generation saw that he was lit, then we got lit. It gave us permission to think bigger of ourselves. Because you're attached to the rappers are attached to the neighborhoods in a way that when they blow, everybody who knows them, that's attached to them, they blow. All right, give me one. Yeah. And that generation is still here. You know what I'm saying? That whole generation is still here. Like I said, I just seen Special Ed on an Instagram live with We Are Flatbush. Special Ed was dropping bars. Like Special Ed knows something. Like, not just no woke shit either. Like Special Ed was going in. So there's a whole slew of rappers from the 90s, even in the 80s. Dougie Fresh, there's a bunch of them who are fully awake, fully aware, eyes wide. Especially I was on a mission to Fort Mr. Luchin chant. Yeah, that was fire. That was fire. Was Noda Ledge song the inspiration for the title of your program? I'm always curious ever since I saw you and Blue make the brand. Yeah, we were highly inspired by the Noda Ledge song, and by Rakim. That's one of my favorite rappers, you know. East 29th from Brooklyn was, that's what I'm saying. Like, like these songs have memories attached to them, you know. These songs have memories attached to them. These songs have energy attached to them, because they remind you of a day and time. The best, the only, not the only, I'm not saying the only, because everybody got their own memory, but one of the most successful ways to tap back into back in the days is through the music, right? One of the most successful ways to tap back into the music back in the days, your memory bank of back in the days. What did it feel like? What did it really feel like? What was really going on? What was really popping? You know what I'm talking about? What was you really on? And you listen to certain music at certain times, that shit will take you where you need to go, right? It will answer those questions. It will give you your time space continuum. It will put you in what is known as, in somewhat in a beta mode, in a no, in a theta mode, in a sense, where you're half awake, half sleep, but you're having a vivid. You're not even having a dream. You're having a vivid vision. That's what music can do. You be right there, counting it up when you was counting up money, listening to this song. The first time when you was like, yo, this shit is just one of my favorite songs. Or, the song you was listening to when something tragic happened and you remember that moment. And then you hear that song and it takes you right there. Yeah, R.I.P. to Cicely Tyson too, to the legend. You know what I'm talking about? R.I.P. to the legend. There was something that I read I forgot what year it was, but it might have been 2 years ago. And it was given the math about this cycle, right? Speaking about it from a 2020 perspective. And it was explaining how, that there's just certain periods of time where, a lot of where the generational shift takes place, So they were definitely talking about this time. So, yes, rising power to her. You know what I mean? There's a pantheon of angels there waiting for her. She put on to the definitely to 96. You feel me? And her and regalia and pure regalness. Pure regalness. Yeah, she was grace personified. You feel me? She was definitely grace personified. A lot of energy is coming to the earth. Yeah, you're right about that. I agree. I agree. Yeah, almost a hundo. Right? Almost a hundo. She's seen it all. She's seen a lot. She's seen a lot. So, yeah, tap into her material and whatnot. She was 30 when Emmett Till was killed, 95 when George Floyd got killed. Wow. Look at that right there. All right. Somebody wonders if she got the vaccine. Yeah, I would like to know that. That's good for the data, you know. I want to keep a record of things. You know what I'm talking about? They was talking about Tiana Taylor playing her. I don't know about that. Cicely played every strong black woman. All right, she definitely did. She lived through 3 lifetimes. Yeah, indeed. Salute to her. Salute to her. I seen a video the other day that a sister put up. I forgot her name. When I get her name, I'll let y'all know. She got an interesting channel. She was showing that there's obituaries already written for a slew of people, right? She mentioned Hank Aaron's name in that video, and that video came out last week. Hank Aaron just made transition, right? She put that video out before he made transition. She was on a site. She got this information by way of the Freedom of Rights Act. And she was speaking of many, many names of black celebrities, many, many different names. Did anybody see that video? If you've seen that video, put the fire emoji in the chat, because I don't want people to think that. I know they don't think that, but I want them to know that there's witnesses out there who seen the same thing. But she was reading off obituaries for a lot of these, the Marcellus, one of the Marcelluses. She was reading off it was all pre-written obituaries. Like they already got them all written. And it was for a lot of remember, these are the baby boomers, right? So these are the baby boomers. So it's already predetermined that they have a period where they're going to all be leaving and making, when they, but we got to be very mindful of that. You have to be very cognizant of it, you know, and just know, or just have the art of discernment. And that's not to take away from anybody that's making transition and whatnot. What's the video? Yeah. Yeah, you definitely got to roll one up for the queen, you know. Definitely got to roll one up for her. But she lived a very fruitful and a very, very, very good life. If anybody know the name of the sister who did the video where she has the pre-written obituaries, just drop it in the chat room. I'll pin it. I'll put a name up there so y'all could go and check out the video. If I remembered it, I would have punched it in. It was a video that I saw. Somebody tagged me in the picture, tagged me in her video. I went on her page, and then I went on her YouTube and I watched one of her videos. She was showing it. She does research. She be doing videos about, shit that's out here. Like we may belong. No, not that we may belong to the same group. She was just showing that there was just pre-written obituaries for a bunch of famous people and black famous people, and just a few of the entertainers and stuff like that. And she was questioning why would they have pre-written obituaries? You know what I mean? Is this signifying that they're faking their deaths for the purpose of, I don't know, you know, not too sure. I don't want to speculate because I'm not a speculator. Oh, said me and you. Oh, okay. What's the same group? What group are you referring to? You wonder if Kobe was on that list. Well, yeah, I wonder if Kobe was on the list. Uh, I don't know if that's the type of list that is. Like it's a hit list. I'm not sure if that's what that is. You know, like I said, I don't want to speculate. So when I do find a video, we'll take a trip over there to the YouTube channel and we could watch it together. And then we could discern what we've heard because this is the internet. You could hear so many things and not hear the right thing. You could see so many things and not know what you're looking at. You know, nothing is promised. This is the internet. Nothing is promised. Nothing doesn't have to be real. This is the matrix. You know what I'm talking about? This is the matrix. None of this shit has to be real. This could all be a set. This could all be in a studio. This could all be the Truman Show type shit. This could all be, manufactured. It could all be edited. This could be a deep fake. Like you never really know, bro. Yeah, it could all be a simulation. You know, it could be WandaVision, my niggas. Talk black to me. Wasn't a cartoon made? Yeah, there was a cartoon. In a cartoon, he died tragically in a crash of a helicopter. You know, that is a fact. You know, that is a fact. You know, yeah, the cartoon was mad foul. The cartoon was mad foul. I don't even know who would draw some shit like that. Like that's those Adult Swim type of cartoons where they don't have no respect. You know what I mean? It's shock value. It's Howard Stern business model. Shock and awe, shock jock cartoons. You know, Animal House, European type of frat boys, frat boy humor, bromance humor. Blurred and nerd type of entertainment. They're into shit like that. Ricky and Mort, you know. Yeah, the Seth MacFarlane, the weirdo shit. You know what I'm talking about? The weirdo shit. The Seth MacFarlane comedy. I that's the shit that I don't like. What's his name? The Judd, well, whatever his last name is. His brand of comedy. You know, shit is downstairs. You know what I'm talking about? That shit is straight downstairs. Matt Groening from The Simpsons be on that predicted programming. Is it true that the Simpsons say something is going to happen and it does? Mike Judge. Yeah, Mike Judge. You know, that's Me Too comedy. That's Weinstein, Jeff Epstein branded humor. You know what I mean? That's Joe Podesta stand up. They got all of these coded words, and you know they're really talking about shit that they do to little kids, and you know what I mean? Like it's so weirdo. It's founded in weirdosity. You know, it's the founded in weird shit. These niggas bird bath together and playing on Hershey's Highway. Like they're weird, you know, and they do savage shit, and they're undisciplined, and they're you know they're demonic. So what the fuck? Y'all seen American Gods, right? They're the Vikings, in a sense, you know. Now, when you walk in the streets, right? Let me show you how life imitates arts. There was a day and time where the simulation or life as you know it looked one type of way, or you know whatever season we were in, the environment reflected that season, and it had an aesthetic, right? So remember, your environment responds to your DNA, and your DNA responds to your environment, right? So our environment begins to change when we begin to change, right? So as we begin to change, as we begin to, you know, wake up, tap in, you know, activate, come online, activate the grid, you know what I'm talking about? Wake up certain dormant DNA, you know, do a lot of things, affect everything that is, you know, in our vicinity. And this is the people that I'm speaking of, melanated to be exact, you know, just the collective and what it is that they do, when they do it, how they do it, the effectiveness of what they do from all different sectors, from all different angles, because this is angels come in different angles. You know what I mean? You niggas don't have the filter system on angels. You can't filter your angels. Angels come in different angles. So you got to be able to look in different sectors and different places where different things are taking place and shit is booming and people are spreading their wings and whatnot. And don't be so, you know, one dimensional or monolithic or, you know, stuck to one person type of mentality. That's a European concept. So religious. You know what I mean? That you have savior complex and you're just, you're looking for Neo. You're just looking for the one. You know what I'm talking about? But you don't realize that the 1 is the 2, and the 2 is the 4, and the 4 is the 8. And we don't die, we multiply. You know what I'm talking about? It's okay to find the 1. You know, that's the search. It's okay to find the Neo in the whole thing, but understand that there's different, you know, that though it's the 1 is still the 2. You know. And we affect everything around us. I was having this conversation the other day. I'm gonna just share this with y'all. I was in a neighborhood that was gentrified. And the neighborhood that I was in Bed-Stuy. And this neighborhood used to have crack houses and weed houses. And you would have to walk through the neighborhood at a certain type of day, because if you went on the block at the wrong type of day, the wolves were out. And there was always a wolf moon over there because they was always eating the sheep, right? I'm talking about ferocious. So I go on the block the other day, and there's 3 futuristic houses in the middle of the block before I reach the end of the block. I'm talking about the block looks different, right? It's new. It's not just new. It's new buildings that are more architecturally and industrially up to the days and the times that we're in. Meaning that they're modernized, postmodern buildings, right? So there's a certain type of ambiance in these neighborhoods. Even if the same killers that I knew from back then who lived on these blocks live on these blocks still. Like when you come outside, you're not coming outside to look at a crack house. You're not coming outside to look at, people in worn down, dilapidated, real estate. The fact that you're in neighborhoods that are improving architecturally, property wise, and just overall upgrading themselves. The question is that a result of you upgrading yourself? Is that a result of you and your people leveling up in your upgrade? Just based off of the things that you're seeing in your waking everyday life, or the way how you feel about yourself. Maybe you said to yourself, look, it's time for this neighborhood, to change. You know how many times I have candlelight vigils and people are like, I just had enough. Something got to change. God damn it. I pray to my Jesus. You know what I mean? And there's a cycle that begins right after that prayer. The preacher gets in touch with the real estate people get in touch with the preacher get in touch with the politician, and all 3 of them get on the 3-way and have lunch and whatnot. Then they start having plans on how to upgrade and level up and change the real estate in set areas. And then when that actually happens, and they get in touch with the contractor, and then the contractor get in touch with the politician and get in touch with the real estate agent, they get in touch with the preacher who get in touch with his congregation, they start whatever they do, and they start gentrifying some of these neighborhoods. This is not how it happens everywhere. But my question is, what would you say if your energy is what's making these neighborhoods change? Because everything that's constant is a change. Don't worry about if you're not. I'm not. We didn't get the buildings. We don't own the buildings. Look, newsflash. A lot of the buildings that they gentrify, you niggas didn't live in there in the first place. You were all renting. Okay? There's a handful of brownstones and houses that black people have sold off. But for the most part, I'm talking about shit that niggas didn't even own. in the first place. You didn't even own it. It wasn't yours. It wasn't like they just came and snatched your fucking property, nigga. A lot of our people don't own a lot of shit in the metropolis cities. Now, they were the landowners of estates in the South, right? I'm talking, when I say estates, I mean hundreds of acres. Big boy shit. Where you could build whole communities. Communities had got abandoned. Communities got shut down. Communities got completely folded and whatnot. Communities got given up on. And there was something called a Great Migration. People ran to the cities. Whole bunch of them. I'm talking about, it was a flood. It was a flood. You know? But the city isn't, our people are not known for being huge real estate property owners. Not a few buildings. I'm talking about damn near cities. We're not known for that. Not in these major cities. So anything that they're regentrifying, you didn't own it in the first place. A lot of that. But some did own some things, and they decided to sell, or they got foreclosed upon. It's not your shit, and it's upgrading, right? It's upgrading because I don't know how many people have been out of town, but you'll go places like Los Angeles, you'll go places like Atlanta, you'll go to places in Texas. You'll see how people are living on regular budgets. Fuck the forget the expensive shit. You're just seeing how the amenities, you're seeing how a lot of things look in different places. And just the room that you get in the South versus the shit that you're paying for in places like New York. You like, hold on, this don't seem correct. There's no, you know what I mean? So now that there's luxury in New York, now that there's an upgrade in the architecture of the buildings, I don't see a negative in that. I'm like, we have a seat in those buildings. Like, there's rooms in those buildings. I put myself in all of those new big ass castles that I see in the hood. I'm not writing myself out of that story because I belong in one of those castles. Fuck is you talking about? That's not a blight in the fucking neighborhood, bro. Nigga, that's a castle. That's our shit. If I want, it's my shit. They built that for me and mines. What are you talking about? You know what I'm talking about? And if it's not your style, so be it. Nobody said that it's your styles. If it's, look, that's ours. If we want it to be ours, that's ours. You know? Shit. You should live in luxury in the same hood where you buried people in, and you put in mad work, blood, sweat, and tears and whatnot. Streets that you had to fucking fight over and knuckle up for and shit. And you can't live in the castle on your own block. You can't have a fucking marble top. You feel me? Nigga. With an overhead shower on the same block where you had a bando on. Nah, I'm saying that you could do whatever you want to do. You know? Do what the fuck you want to do. Imagine if you had some crypto, nigga. Imagine if you sold some stocks on Robinhood today, nigga. Imagine if you knew about that fucking GameStop flip and you went and dropped $1 million on it. Like I said, this is for the wolves, nigga. This is for the wolves. This game is not for the sheep. This is some shit that wolves play. Underneath the wolf moon. This is a wolf's game. That's why they call it the Wolf of Wall Street. And you got niggas that are fucking soccer moms trying to have a conversation about the rights and wrongs, the moral fucking place where stocks. Oh, they've been doing this all along. This is a rich man's game. Well, nigga, you need to get rich then and play it. The fuck is you talking about? You niggas wear enough polo. You play a rich man's game, nigga. It's called invest. It's called Take risks, my nigga. Heavy is the fucking reward. It's called put it on a line if you really feel like that. Every game is a chance to come up. Either they're gonna win or they're gonna lose, nigga. It's zeros and ones still. We're talking Yoruba, nigga. We're talking West African. We're talking Ghanaian. Because that's where it's coming from. The divination centers of West Africa. Go and do the research. Ron E. Glass. It's a European. He did a lot of research on how computer language, the binary code, what they call the binary code, its origins is in West Africa. Right? And what the binary code speaks of is zeros and ones. Okay? When you go and do a divination, the zeros and the ones. Right? The I Ching as well. The zeros and the ones. The one and the two. Okay? So in gambling, like let's just say every time that there was a fight, right, that hit Vegas, I have $5 million that I was either ready to lose or double. There's no other thing I have to be prepared for. Either it's going to lose or it's going to double. And then, would it even make it even more sexier, is that if I was one of five to put the money in to see if it was going to be lost or if it was going to double. That's all you have to make a decision about when it comes to shit like that. Are we gonna lose it? Because I could stomach losing it. I'm good to. If I plant this seed and it don't grow, then it just wasn't meant to grow. But if the bitch grows, nigga, look, my mom made it, and we do that a few times, right? This is for the wolves. You think they run up on their you think they run up on their prey with no plan? You think they run up on their ops and they don't know how they're gonna spin the block and get everybody? How do wolves think? That's how you gotta think. They think I think they sharper than the deer, my nigga. How do wolves think? So if you put it all on the line and say, look, either this nigga McConnor Gregor he's gonna lose or he's gonna win. I'm either gonna put money against him, I'm gonna put money on him. That's just two variables right there. 0, 1. Either or. That's not a bad fucking that's not a some shit is 0 to 1,000. It's not a bad fucking it's either the Bills or Kansas City. You don't have to worry about nothing else. It's either the Bills or Kansas City. That's all you had to figure out. And you'll get your bread. You'll triple your shit. You'll double it. Is it worth the risk? I think it is. If you're going to play, why not play big? Because 5 of us could go to the store and buy $5 worth of lotto tickets or scratch offs and whatnot. But 5 of us could also put $1,000 in a pot and go get $5,000 worth of some stocks. You know what I'm saying? And go cowabunga on these niggas. Or we could go and get $5,000 and we could go buy 5 ethers. You know what I mean? Just 5 niggas could do that every 5 days. And I'm saying that it could get so real that we could do it every 5 minutes. Don't let me talk about the seconds. I'm building it to where we'll be able to do it every 5 days. That's not a hard feat. That's not a hard feat. Niggas out here don't got hard feet.
We got hard bottoms. That's not a hard feet for niggas that got hard feet and wear hard bars. You know what I'm talking about? Don't take my bars. I don't want to promise you. It's not a hard feat. Shout out to all of my stream chasers. Believe me, stream chasers, look at me, talk back to me. Believe me when I tell you, I mean, I'm in the lab on some evil genius shit, man. Even tonight, I'm going to burn some ancestor money and go into I Ching on these niggas. I have to go deep into the caverns of my mind and create, because we are building something that is remarkable. And I promise you, it is going to be great. And I have a big announcement for my stream chasers. We have a workshop coming in February. I will not let the month of February pass us without having a part 2 to what it is that we started this month. I'm going to be doing a part 2, and this one is going to be solely about the passion economy. This is going to be a deep dive into the passion economy, how to thrive and strive in 2021, the passion economy, you know, the 100 commandments of the passion economy. And that's coming soon. If you were in the first class, you know that this class is going to be a head buster. And we're going to be rolling out something monumental for the whole family. It's going to put us in a network where we're actually going to see each other daily and tap into each other's streams and be able to drink from each other's streams and learn about multiple streams, have the opportunity to sign up for multiple streams, have libraries where all of the stream chaser materials exist in, and we'll have a lot more things to offer. So please stay tuned. I'm even going to have a commercial coming up soon for us. Please stay tuned. That's coming very soon. As you can see, we have a limited collection of our Moors 7. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, shout out to my Moors Islam. This is called Block Color. This hoodie right here, as you can see, is multiple colors. You feel me? Yeah. Talk black to me. Then we got the Barbie. This is so limited I can't put it on a website because I can't, I don't want people to buy up colors that we don't have. So this is a limited run, right? Call that the Puff Daddy because the ink is raised, as you can see. It feels beautiful, You see that? Yeah. So, and I'm on the gram. I hope y'all know what my gram. Matter of fact, I give the email. Let me not even put you on the gram. You might not know. I got clones on the gram, so you might be in their inbox asking them questions. Let me give you my email. That's the best way to contact me right there. We're doing special orders on that. We could take care of that on the Cash App. Send me an email, and I'll send you some pictures of the items that we have, the limited run that we have. I think we're going to do about 100 of these. You know what I'm saying? Do about 100. And we're going to get those to the collectors. You feel me? Yeah, it's a beautiful feel, man. I promise you. This feel good. I call that the Puff Daddy, baby. It's the puffy combs. So yeah. It's lit, It's lit. It's lit. Go with your sneakers. You know what I'm talking about? It'll go with your sneakers. I had to do my little commercial. We're in the hood right now, so y'all getting the bando version of Third Eye Thursday and whatnot. We don't got the sound effects tonight, so you're just gonna get hood commercials like right there, like a QVC commercial. But let me give you the Cash App. Those hoodies are $60 plus shipping and handling. So if you want to pick up any one of those, any one of these, I have up to the size X. I don't have 2 and 3X.
a little bit of 2X's, but I mostly got mediums and large. So I got smalls, mediums, and large. I'm telling you that right now. A lot of those other sizes are gone. Small, medium, large. Moors, Garvey. Okay? And it's different colorways too. It's not these are not the only colors. Got a few other flavors. But like I said, get the ones that you see, you know. Hit up the email and we'll take care of you. Got you, my ninjas. Got you, my ninjas. And hold on, where's all my face roller? Face roller mafia. Hold on. Where did they get a load of me? Yeah, face roller mafia. Look at what I got, baby. Where did I get a load of me? Yeah, I got that crack. You know what I'm talking about? That Chris Naeem crystal roller. You know, I'm gonna be rolling my face real good. And that opal. Woo! That opal light. Get you cope that night. These are very rare. Alright. You could put these in a freezer. Put and just roll them on your face. Just get your face rollers while you're listening to Red Summer, while you're listening to that Good Wife and all of them other cuts, that Sherman Hemsley, the GOAT, that China Flow from the Biner Bros, Red and the Blue. Yeah. Remember, this is good for your lymph nodes, especially in the wintertime. You want to make sure your lymph nodes is good. And it's good for the puffiness under the eye in the wintertime. You know what I mean? You get the puffiness from under your eye. So that's on the Red Summer merch. Let me show you that site. The Red Summer merch. The Red Summer merch be popping too. Y'all be on there hard. I appreciate. Yeah, I love y'all face rollers. That's what I know that much. If I don't know nothing, I tell you, I love you some face rollers. We're gonna have those oils for you by next week. So we're just putting together the product line on the oils, but they are going to be. You're gonna have an assortment of some very some good smelling, good feeling oils. For your face roller and just for your overall skincare, because that's important. Health is wealth, but maintaining it is a whole nother thing. If it's wealth, you gotta be able to invest in it like you would invest in something that's considered to be the most important thing to you. You know what I mean? Niggas is like health is wealth. I'm like, show me the receipts. You know what I'm talking about? We don't believe you. And nor does the IRS, nigga. Yeah, show me the receipts. So these face rollers, they feel great, man. Like I said, put them in the freezer. Let them freeze. Your face will thank you later. You know what I'm talking about? Because I don't take cold showers and whatnot, but I'll put a fucking cold face roller on my face. That shit feels good. Fellas, be creative. Yeah, you thank me later. I see you, Lex. I mean, if it's gonna happen, we can make it happen. You already know what it is. Rock it in the pocket like Jaded Flow. Right. Yeah, CBD and CBG. You know, a combo of the two, CBD and CBG. Right. So make sure you put some good things on your face. You know, I'll share some of my some of the products that I utilize. Let you tap in. But yeah, man, it's a lot of things going on. It's a lot of things. There's a new administration. We're gonna be doing this lecture. I have to. I might have to start getting my campaign on. Let this put this commercial up for this right here. 21 Savage. That's gonna be powerful. You know what I'm talking about? That's coming up on the 21st. That's gonna have a ton of the information that you're seeing going on, like all of the, and I'm not gonna say conspiracy because I'm not into conspiracy theories. Never been, never will be. But all of the stories that you see taking place, all of the crazy shit going on, all of the stuff going on with the government, all of the fuckery, all of the stuff going on in hip hop. There's a lot of shit going on. It's just a lot of things. So instead of being distracted, and instead of, being all over the place, what I do is I aggregate the information because it's too much to just put it on my Instagram every other day. It's too much to cover everything in Melanin Monday. Sometimes I might even forget to talk about certain things because I just tap into a vibe. So what I do is I put together these consortiums where I put my information in the form of a lecture. That's something that I'm very comfortable doing because this is something that I'm passionate about. I love to teach. I have a passion for teaching, and I have a passion for teaching in a way that, I know is effective. So my next installment for my series, right? I do multiple series. I do the Fear of a Black Planet series, Fear of a Black More Messiah series. I do the Into Deep series. I also do the Facts Initiative series. And I also do the American God series. And I'm on part 4.4 in this series. And this is called Savage, no, 21 Savage. It's a wrap. All right. American Gods 4.4. And like I said before, I might have somebody special as a special guest on this one too. Maybe Mr. 44 himself, so we could take this information and do some decoding together. You know what I mean? But I'll keep y'all updated. But for everybody that's tapping in for that, I appreciate y'all. I'm talking about y'all going to be in for a lot of good information. And we're going to dive deep, and we're going to show what's going on the horizon. So knowing is half the battle, even when it comes time to getting your money right, even when it comes time to getting your business together, everything is very good to know the information about what's going on with them people, with the government, just all around. So tap in. All right, tap in. So we coming up to the 2 hour mark. I'm about to tap out myself. It's 3 in the morning. You know what I mean? Yeah, I appreciate the fam, definitely. You know what I mean? But yeah, it's definitely time to tap out. Uh, we will get back up on Melanin Monday and we'll continue the conversation. Like I said, I gave you all the sites. We got products. We have another workshop coming up. We have a lecture coming up. We have some other special announcements coming up. All right, that's the Cash App, Phil Moreland. Thank you, everybody who has supported us through the Cash App, knowing that we don't have Super Chat or anything else. So you send your love through the Cash App. We appreciate y'all. Love and light. Like I said, we'll be back for Melanin Monday. And yeah, all right. Peace. We're going to end on some music. Let's end with something from the Red Summer. Whoever say the first song y'all want to hear, that's the song we'll end on. Let it be a song that you can end the show on, though. You know what I'm talking about. Barlow said peace. Tell her, Barlow, I said peace. Yeah. Let's see who's going to get it in. So, yeah, we'll see you on Monday. All right? Y'all keep your heads up, man. Tap in. Do your research. For everybody that got those, okay, Cold World. That was the first one that came up. It said Cold World. That's my shit.
The Bachelor is back. Stream it live on ABC with YouTube TV.
Peace, yo.
Red Summer.
Punch me in, Quay.
Red Pillar. When the masters ascended, you bastards pretended like you was passing amendments, changing the law. Men now freemen like you was changing the law. Strange things like you was strange to the gods. Trembling, praying you were fraud. I got you claim that you God. Back then my mental was trained, like mentals in pain. The mental was trained. Plain and simple, the game is mental. Train electro. When it rains, it pours, and it rains to retro. Bang at the ranch like Kanye. Just me and machines like Conway. Me and machines like Conway. Looking for me in the Huawei. They didn't believe in Harvey. We didn't believe in Stephen Harvey. Now they thinking like women and looking like girlfriends. Like on the women of Fleas and Barbie. They didn't believe in Barbie. Niggas don't wanna do research. They just wanna wear t-shirts. I'm in the same bag. T-shirts so up in Fendi. New York was trending. When Dr. Young, he was the voice of New York like Wendy. They birth to the mark in Wendy's. Way on the wrong side of history. The wrong side of history. Sisterly enemies. Hennessy. To be spit. Energy. In his tense. If it were a person, it would be Mike Pence. Niggas still see through like light tints. The light bent on a 90-degree angle. 93 hours at 90-degree angel. The strangling on the world like Charlie the Rainbow. Black woman and child, the mystical angel. The strangle by mystical tangle. I learned that my enemies are people you into your life. To feed on your light, feed on your vice. Others will enter your life and teach you to read and to write. Others who made in your life like Jesus the Christ. Your way is alright, but he is not real. Some people are there when you need the advice. We giving it back to see you're alright. Seize the night, we got the keys to life. All night we perform like bite. Seize the mic, seize your life, leave your life. Squeeze the mics, trick out them sucks like freeze the ice. We breaking the bread like it's Hanukkah. Wake up to red on the monitor. We breaking the bread like it's Hanukkah. Wake up to red on the monitor. On our way up like the thermometer. Off of the planet Andromeda. Feet a wash, listen to beat to Taj. Chances are, you never dance with the stars. Had all the chances to ball and signs of ball. My father had 20 new matches on Mars. I sailed out in chrome spaceships. Bitch, I bailed out with chrome bracelets. Yeah, I bailed out my own matrix. They say that it's ego, but it's a strong intention. They play with the people, get credit for wrong inventions, long extensions, Empire State buildings, in the time scenarios, King Kong, Dungeon Dragons, Kiram scenarios, the songs that mention songs, never my henchmen on, niggas in churches and bitches with riches and bombs, listen to songs, calling flags and bitches is on, master self.
Ask yourself before you catch yourself. Make sure that you catch your wealth. Ask yourself when you detach your belt. If the vibe is off, it's because strides is long.